relatively unknown. Let's go. We up and coming, we fun and we really relevant. Yeah, we giving hope, we super dope, you know we heaven sent. If you sick and low, you need a dose, we got the medicine. Probably never heard of us before, but you gon' let us in. I told y'all boys before that we coming, ready to give it to anybody that want it. We bringing y'all the truth and keeping it 100. You may not know it now, but soon we gon' run it. We gon' run it, it's my promise. Y'all better get ready, cause we coming. Content gon' be so fire. Gon' like, share, and subscribe. Gon' like, share, and subscribe. Content gon' be so fire. Gon' like, share, and subscribe.
All right. Well, hey.
Hey, hello.
I guess it's time to get to it.
I guess so. Welcome, everyone, to the Relatively Unknown podcast. I'm Carrie Edge.
And what's going on, everybody? You know it's your boy, Uncle Phillip Edge. And you are tuned in to the dopest podcast in the land, the podcast where we talk to all the up-and-coming people. So if you are one of those up-and-coming people, guess what? We are talking to you today. Now, here's the dope thing. Today's session is going to be super dope. As literally, we're talking about moving from self-doubt to self-awareness. We're going to give you 5 dope, amazing keys that help you to overcome those limitations. So if that's you, if you feel like you have, some limitations, you got some self-doubt, today's podcast might be for you. But listen, before we jump into the podcast, you know we got to do our little segment. We got to do our thing. What's going on?
What's going on?
What is going on? You tell me what's going on.
Oh, man, I can't call it. Just doing what we do.
Just a little something.
Just doing what we do. NCAA basketball. It's the most wonderful time of the year.
It's the most wonderful time.
It is. Love me some
year.
round ball. We just finished out our youngest Zoe, her season today. Little shocker. She was the number one.
The highest 3-point percentage.
35% from the floor.
35%.
Yeah. So we'll see.
Yeah.
What next year holds, And
I honestly like even when we're in the actual the banquet or whatnot, I was surprised when they called out Zoe's name for the highest field goal percentage, the 3-point percentage, whatever it was, because I know she is a defensive specialist, right? So to go from defensive specialist to highest 3-point percentage is
she's becoming a threat on both ends of the floor, and that's that's what you need to be.
Absolutely.
And to hear her coaches say that basically between her and I guess Zoe's kind of a mentor, big sis on the court, Gabby. They don't like it when they play against the girls for Zoe or Gabby to defend them, right? Because they are on you, something serious. So it was cool to hear them say that, just the intensity that she brings. But I mean, it's to be expected. I think she gets it naturally.
That's
so
how
we're
we
both
do.
Pretty intense. I mean, we're edges. We just, we live on the edge a little bit.
We show up like that.
That's how we show up all the time. We're a bit intense, y'all. Some people can't handle us, but it's okay.
Look, you gonna get what you gonna get.
I mean, what you see is what you get.
That's right. We ain't backing up nobody.
We bring it all the way. Even Phillip this weekend turned into a O McDonald. He has a farm. E-I-E-I, quack, quack.
Man, y'all listen. Oh my God! So listen. So yesterday,
should have brought him in here.
Carrie took the grandkids out to Tractor Supply of all places. If you don't know anything about,
day.
Well, if you don't know anything about Tractor Supply, it's like what would we call? How would we define Tractor Supply? It's like what? Like a
Petco for farmers.
It's like a pet store for farmers. You can probably go in there and get your feed for goats, horses, and
all your equipment that you need.
Yeah,
they got
everything.
Tools. They got nice tools
so
in there.
It's kind of like Home Depot
Carhartt.
and Petland combined. Kind of, sort of, right? Like,
Petland to a whole nother level, though.
Right.
I mean, it's like, equine, swine.
Right. So listen. So she took the grands over there on yesterday, and I wasn't thinking anything of it. Yesterday was Chick Day.
I wasn't thinking nothing of it either.
Well, I never even, like, have y'all heard of Chick Day? Well, tell them what Chick Day is.
So, every year around this time, everybody thinks they should buy chickens and ducks because it's Easter. I don't know what that's about. I don't see them buying no lambs. But anyway. anyways.
That's a whole different one right there.
You know, to capitalize on that, obviously, like every good marketing company does,
Right.
They did chick days. And basically what that is it's really when they had their chicks before, but they have somebody there on staff from 10 to 4 who helps you grow or start your flock. So
Y'all kind
there
of
were
see.
no chickens.
Y'all
So
see
it
where
was
she's
false
going now.
advertisement. It was not chick day. It was duck day. So we got a few ducats. They only cost a few ducats.
That came home with ducks. Like, not chickens.
Cupcake and Rex.
Cupcake and Rex. So we now have 2 ducks. I had all kind of questions though. Like, you probably have all kind of questions, because I was literally like, what do you do with ducks? Like, do they fly away? Like, Carrie told me that you can house train the ducks like dogs.
Yeah.
Come on,
Like
man.
more like cats, because they still need to use the bathroom.
Oh Lord.
Yeah.
What's up, Miss Takesha? How you doing? I see you tuned in with us. Question for the family: do any of you all have ducks? I'm just asking the question. I'm trying to figure it.
Peking ducks.
Peking ducks, so they won't fly.
No, they're not supposed to fly away.
I'm just.
They're like farm ducks. They're like those white farm ducks, you know, that just hang out and swim in mud puddles.
all I
They
know.
just need mud puddles.
All I know
Hey,
is
but
we
they
got
do
ducks.
lay eggs, y'all. So
And are you? You said we can eat those eggs.
yeah, you can eat any egg.
Has anybody ever eaten a duck egg? Like I eat chicken eggs.
I mean, so what's the difference?
It tastes like chicken.
No, it tastes like an egg.
I mean, like,
It tastes like an egg.
do all
Eggs
eggs?
don't taste like chicken.
Do
Not
egg-
everything tastes like chicken. Close.
But do
Almost.
all eggs taste the same?
In various different forms. Some eggs are a little more rich than others.
I don't know anything about this.
You can eat any kind of egg. You never watched Survivor?
No.
I mean,
and
find
I
an
eat chicken
egg
eggs.
you're gonna eat. It's protein.
Okay, well, I didn't know. So, anyways, you all,
We are not cooking the ducks.
I got
You can't eat Rex and cupcake.
I have ducks at my house right now, and I don't know anything about ducks. What's up,
There's
Carmelita?
Carmelita. Hey, hey.
Ducks. What's up,
There's
Carmelita?
Carmelita. Hey, hey.
I don't. Carmelita. Maybe she can answer this
You
question.
can make stuff with you.
We
you
got
can
ducks,
bake
Carmelita.
with the
Carmelita, we got ducks. I found out yesterday. My Carrie took the grandkids out and she brought them back, and now we have 2 ducks, Cupcake and Rex. So I'm asking the question: can you eat duck eggs?
And yes, we can tell the difference between Cupcake and Rex.
Like,
They look different.
y'all. Listen, I'm gonna be honest. I'm the only brother that I've ever known who has
There's
ducks.
another brother out there that has
Have y'all ever
probably
met?
not named Cupcake.
Have
and
y'all
Rex,
ever
but-
met a brother who has ducks at the house?
I mean, probably there.
I
I'm sure there is.
I'm the only brother I know with ducks at his house, baby. I'm just keeping that 100 and real. I don't know
Ducks,
anybody else
chickens.
with ducks. Like, but I'm not a farmer. Like, I'm not a farmer.
We don't have a farm. We just have 2 dogs, 2 ducks.
Carmelita the ducks. Anyways, y'all. Anyways. So,
They're so cute.
I ain't gonna lie, they are kind of cute, and they make these noises. So the grandkids have been in there with the ducks, like literally, you know, like
And the dog, Winter, he likes
Winter.
the ducks.
Uncle Winter is like, man,
He thinks he's the dad, I
he is
think.
like the protector of the ducks. So this is gonna be so funny, like when the ducks get older, and so we're gonna be like walking 2 ducks and a Frenchie. That's gonna be funny. Like, can you see us walking down Broad Street with 2 ducks and a Frenchie?
Hey, I think that would make a really cool Instagram page.
That
2 ducks and a Frenchie.
That would make a great podcast episode. Like,
Well, I don't
us.
think you can make a podcast. That
No,
would
we
be more
gotta
like a
do some video.
reality
show.
reality
Okay.
show. 2 ducks
But we gonna
and a
have to
Frenchie.
have some kind of reality show and show y'all
Make
these.
French toast.
No, no.
We're not eating the ducks, just the eggs. You can eat the eggs.
I don't know if you can eat. We're gonna have to look this
You
up
can-
and see if you can eat
you-
these eggs. Like, cause I've never.
You can eat any egg. Any egg you can eat.
I don't know, baby.
You can-
I don't know. I'm not with that.
You can
I'm
eat
not
a
with
lizard egg. You can eat a snake egg.
I ain't know. I'm not eating none. I eat chicken eggs.
If you get lost out in the woods and you're hungry,
First of all, I do
won't be
not
in the
plan to be in the woods. That's where you went wrong. Cause
So speaking of not being in the woods, so
Yes.
I'm gonna tell this.
all right, what
Okay,
you gonna tell?
I know we need to talk about self-doubt and self-awareness, but maybe this has something to do with self-doubt and self-awareness.
Okay.
You need to be self-aware, and I'm just gonna say it. Not all black people are afraid of the woods.
I don't know, babe. Water and woods, we have issues with, and dogs.
Okay.
I'm just saying.
So, but this man right here, see, what Carmelita said, she co-signed. You can eat the eggs.
Carmelita.
So, anyways, so this man, so I'm trying to acculture our children. Okay.
Okay.
I'm trying to help them learn things as little children. You remember when we were going camping?
Yeah.
This man was mad. Not only was he adamant that he wasn't going camping, he was getting kind of salty about camping. So I got a tent from a friend, and we were going camping. So I was like, okay, I'll accommodate the man who says he needs like a grown potty. Now, ladies, men have external plumbing that it's very easy for them to use the bathroom in the woods. But this man insisted he needed a bathroom and electricity.
See, that's camping right there. If you need electricity,
That is okay.
that's camping.
So I wanted kids to have an experience, and so I got a tent from a friend, and I compromised. I put the tent next to the house. Y'all, we like less than a minute away from the toilet. All the electricity we possibly could need or want. So I get it all set up. I'm all excited. Get everything out there. We all out there. This man not coming out to no tent. So he's being defiant. So I get all the kids in the tent. Y'all, it starts getting dark. And I look around. I'm the only one in the tent.
Because I was teaching them. I was teaching them. I said, why in the world would you stay in the tent when you got a perfectly good electricity-filled home? Like, that's the whole purpose, right?
No, the whole purpose was for them to have an experience.
Well, they did.
And they're like, bump mom, she's got props. We're going inside.
There was mosquitoes out there and all kinds.
Not in the tent.
And they made, it
You
was
didn't
all
even
kind
know
of...
you didn't come out there to
I
look and
watch
see if there were
TV.
mosquitoes.
Listen, every time I watch the movies, what happens?
Black people die first.
And I watch the movies, right? And so
Listen,
because
don't
we
write
know
hate
this,
mail, okay?
Because we know this, I'm not. Why in the world? See, listen, it's.
But we were right next to the house.
But we're not gonna go investigating nothing. We gonna have
we were gonna be in the tent minding our own business. Eating popcorn.
I've learned how to fish. I go to Kroger. That is good fishing right there. When you can go to Kroger.
Because you can't catch anything. That's the only reason why.
You can't catch it. You go to the seafood section.
You can't. The fish are afraid of him.
Well, they are, but
Every time
Kroger is not. Kroger
He's been fishing. He catches
I haven't
nothing.
caught anything. I haven't caught
Nothing
anything.
ever.
I haven't caught anything.
You've only been-
Anyway, what else going on? Because she over here telling all my business. We weren't even supposed to be
I'm
talking
trying to
about.
help you be self-aware that maybe you have a little bit of an issue with the outdoors, and you never know.
You just brought that up because we got ducks
so if
now.
the apocalypse,
Because we got not one duck.
okay, so maybe because you were worried about eating the eggs, maybe I brought that in here.
Not one duck, but 2 ducks.
You have to buy 2 ducks.
Oh, I didn't know that.
You have to buy 2 ducks or 4 chickens. It is not good for ducks to be alone. It's in Genesis. Chapter 3, I think.
Is that really?
Maybe
is
2.
Is that for real? Like, is that real?
I mean,
You had to buy
even
2?
Noah
You had to buy 2?
put them 2 by 2 on the ark. So, but with chickens, for some reason, you got to multiply that. They got to be 4.
I was wondering why we got 2. I was like, why didn't we just get 1 duck?
Because you have to have 2.
Because you have to have 2.
I mean, think about it. The poor little duck out there in the pool all by itself. Not water, no water in the pool. Don't be calling PETA and all you animal lovers. Somebody already got on to us about Winter's Kennel being too small when we took a picture, y'all. Folk out there everywhere just looking for something wrong.
Listen, I'm trying to
So
tell
if you look for it, if you dig, you're going to find dirt.
You gonna find
So
it. You gonna find it.
anyways.
Anything else going on with you?
No,
So
just
now that you told all my business and
ducks
everything.
and a man that won't go outside. Y'all, what kind of man?
Look, one who
Any man.
one who like.
What about the Rottweiler? Did we tell the story about the Rottweiler?
We ain't telling all the business today. We ain't telling
The
all
time
the
I
business.
saved my husband.
Hey, whatever it is, I
From the
like
Rottweiler.
I like Just So Soft. How many of y'all know about that? That little Just So Soft. You know what I'm saying? I like keep my skin good. Anyways,
only the parts you can see.
Well, that is true. Only parts you can see.
Anybody else only use lotion on the parts
You-
that you can see?
Well, it's summertime now, so you gotta
You can
expand.
see more parts.
That's what I'm saying. You gotta expand the territory now. So
So when my husband come home and put his shorts on to go to bed, his
baby, don't be telling all
y'all
my
his
business,
legs and feet, they just gray.
man. Don't be telling all my business. But my ankles be glistening.
He like he been out there playing with cinder blocks all day and won't even go
Oh, man.
outside. So I know he
Y'all-
ain't been playing with cinder blocks.
Y'all see what I deal with? Do y'all? I'm just saying, y'all see what I deal with, man. But anyways,
I love it. I love
today we are having a good time, but we are literally talking about moving from self-doubt to self-awareness. That is the focus on today. So to get us kicked off, because I think it's a big topic.
Yeah.
I think it's a big topic. There are so many people that I know I meet, I know you meet, and I'm just gonna be honest, I've been in this category before.
Well, I think everybody.
And I
if
find
you
myself.
say you haven't doubted yourself,
Well, then
you're
you doubt,
lying.
right. But I find myself in this category every
you're a
now and again.
narcissist.
You know what I'm saying? Every now and again, kind of coming back around, especially when I'm doing something new. I'm going to a new place. Even, I speak a lot, right? So even when I show up at a place, there's always this self-doubt that kind of creeps in, like, are you going to be good enough? Are people going to receive you?
Yeah.
And I find myself sometimes kind of, backing up a little bit because of this self-doubt. Do you experience it also? Or?
Yeah, so that's called a self-limiting belief,
Yep,
right?
yep,
Like there's something within you
Yep.
that makes you doubt yourself.
Yeah.
It can come from your past, things you've said, experiences that you've had. I mean, our life is like a quilt,
Mm-hmm.
so we take on those patches from situations, circumstances that we've had before. So yeah, absolutely, I've doubted myself.
Yeah.
I find myself like even now, as I'm like 9 credit hours, y'all, 9 credit hours.
Come on, man.
Away from completing my degree, I'm really, it's like that senioritis.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
that senioritis.
Yeah.
So, I feel myself like being a little bit more careless and not really, I'm still giving it effort,
Right.
but I'm not 100% there. And I think some of it is just like that fear, kind of that self-doubt of, I'm really going to do this?
Mm-hmm.
Am I really going to finish?
Right.
And the answer is yes. But yeah, we all go through those places where we doubt ourselves. I mean, especially when it's something that's new that you've not experienced. So you don't have a frame of reference for it.
Right.
Like when you have a frame of reference for it, yeah, you can. And that's how you get over those self-limiting beliefs,
Right.
is to recall something similar
Right.
and to say, you know what? I've done this before.
Right.
I've been here before, and I'm still standing, so I can.
And that's the interesting thing, because again, as we think about this whole limiting beliefs, Carrie gave a great definition. Now I'll just say this, those are those negative thoughts or beliefs that we hold ourselves, and not only do we hold them, but it prevents us from achieving our goals or reaching our full potential,
Yeah.
right? So if we had a working definition, those are the kinds of things that I'm talking about. Things like, I'm not good enough,
Yeah,
right?
I'm not smart enough. I'm not worth anything.
Right. I'm not
Yeah.
worthy. I don't deserve it. Those kinds of things. So many of us, even now as we get older, we're walking around in these grown bodies with these limiting beliefs. And the limiting beliefs, not only are they there speaking to us subtly, but literally we're taking them on. I say this all the time, you've heard it said before, but the way that we believe about ourselves will ultimately produce actions, and it will be the way that we live our lives out. So if you don't believe that you can do it, guess what? You won't do it. If you don't believe that you can be successful, guess what? You won't be successful. If you believe that it's gonna all go, into chaos, it probably will. So it's so important for us to, number one, we gotta recognize those limiting beliefs, those things, those doubts that we hold in our heads, and we have to literally be able to release those things.
Yeah. And well, in therapy, we this cognitive behavioral therapy.
Yeah.
And those we call them core beliefs in cognitive behavioral therapy.
Yep.
Or limiting beliefs is cool too. But they are kind of the precursor for the way that we think, how we feel, and then from that, how we behave.
Yeah.
And so I always tell people, you got to slow down and think about what you think about before you think, or before you act.
Yeah, that's
like
good.
slow down and think.
Yeah.
Think about what happened before what happened.
Yeah.
And then once you realize,
that was a tongue twister, but I got you. I got you.
I say it all the time. Think about what happened before what happened.
Right.
Think about that core belief.
Where'd it come from?
How did it drive the thought?
Yeah.
Exactly. And where does it come from? Like,
That's right.
get down to the root of it. Who told you? I say that all the time to patients. Like, who told you that?
That's what Jesus told them people when they was, out there camping and the snake came.
That would have been God. And he said, who told you were naked? I didn't ask you to go outside naked. I asked you to go fully clothed.
I was trying, y'all. I was trying.
Less than a minute from the toilet.
I was trying.
In the tent.
I was trying.
With everybody else.
It's a limiting
She was going to
belief.
be safe.
I'm trying to work through it.
It's okay.
Pray my strength, y'all. Pray my strength.
And
Pray my
the
strength.
core belief is that if you stay outside, you shall surely die.
Yes.
And the Bible says you will live and not die, sir.
That's the core belief. It's rough. It's rough out here in these streets.
You weren't even in the streets.
Right.
You were in the grass in the yard
I was in the
next
side
to
of
the
the
house.
But here's the thing, especially with limiting beliefs. You said something, and I want to just kind of reverse a little bit. You said the thoughts will dictate the way that you feel about a thing, and then those feelings will dictate the behaviors or the actions that come forth from that.
And the thing about like feelings, like, we all have thoughts. They're not always that great, right? If we just give ourselves some time, we won't act out of a feeling place. We have to remember that feelings are temporary, right?
Yeah.
So I won't get too much into the science and psychology of it, but if we would give ourselves, at the most, like if something is really intense, you probably need about 15 minutes. Like maybe some intense feelings like anger. Or some really deep sadness. If you give yourself about 15 minutes before you act and do anything, you're going to be able to process through it if you're really intentional.
It's interesting that you bring that up. I was doing a session in Boston this week at one of my clients there, and I was talking about this thing called the amygdala hijack, right? Yeah, see, I'm telling you, look at me.
That's your fight, flight.
Yeah, the fight or flight.
You're all spun up.
And the crazy thing is this, they said the moment that you experience something, right, and the amygdala hijack takes place in your brain, right, to go around that whole cycle, they said it only takes 90 seconds on average. So literally, when I experience something, let's just use anger, right, and I get mad, right, it takes 90 seconds to go through. Now watch this. After that 90 seconds, it's gone. So the point that they said was that we have a choice after 90 seconds if we continue to be mad.
You can either calm it down.
Yes.
Use some coping skills.
Yes, we say, how do you get back to neutral?
Exactly. How do you get unhijacked?
Yes.
How do you release yourself from the hijack?
That piece, right?
Because otherwise, you can continue to stay revved up.
Right? It's like we replay movies.
You said it
in our head.
You have the option to reframe that thought.
Yes.
It is up to you. That's why I said slow down and think about what happened before what happened.
That's good.
Think about what you were thinking.
Yeah.
What caused me to feel this way?
Yeah.
And if you can recognize the feeling, see that's the problem.
We don't
if we
recognize
can
the
get
feeling.
If we could get back to even the thought. So as soon as the thought, if I'm working on my core beliefs and a thought comes in my mind, and say I get scared because I'm like, oh, I'm not gonna have enough to pay the bills.
Right.
Well, it might be connected to a core belief of poverty.
Got you.
If I keep staying in that thought, then all of a sudden I'm going to start feeling a certain kind of way, and then I'm going to start acting
a certain kind of way.
And that action may be detrimental.
That's good.
Instead of me just slowing down and say, oh, that's coming from that core belief of poverty, of being impoverished.
Yeah.
So, okay, it's tough right now, but let me think through a solution.
Right.
Rather than just being reactive.
Right.
So we do have that option. We can not just act.
Right.
We don't have to be hijacked by the feelings.
Yeah. And I think that piece is so good, right? How can we like slow down, as you said, pause, and really begin asking ourselves the question? Because the thing that I've realized is that when I am getting revved up, I can feel it, right? Or when something's going on,
And you're hurting your body, physical body.
right? But you can feel it, right? So once you begin recognizing those things, or at least becoming self-aware about those things, it's, I'm not gonna say easy, but it's easier to begin the process of addressing it so that you can get back to neutral
And
or deal with it.
that's where the real self-awareness
Yes,
is. And
yes.
when you can be in a place where you are aware,
Yeah.
and that's what I tell my patients. Like, you know, our thoughts are a lot of times going on, especially these core beliefs.
Yeah.
They're like the hard drive of a computer.
Yeah.
It's running all the applications,
Yeah.
but we're not really aware of it as we should be.
Mm-hmm.
But if we take the time to slow down, then we will be aware of it and
That's
say,
good.
you know what?
That's
That
good.
wasn't nothing but, it's typically fear.
Yeah.
That wasn't nothing but fear driving me to doubt myself.
That's good.
But the more I become self-aware, the more I can tear that belief down. And then my thoughts are reframed.
That's good.
And my feelings aren't so driven.
Yeah.
And then my behavior becomes more, I find a balance or a
Yeah.
homeostasis.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. And you mentioned, you know, we keep on bringing up feelings, but I think feelings are important, you know.
Yeah.
And you know, I can just even say this as a man. Many times we're not taught societally to get in touch or in tune with our feelings. But as I have been taught and believe that, you know, God gave us these feelings for a reason, right? So we shouldn't run from the feelings. We need to identify and understand the feelings and where they come from. All of them, even anger.
Yeah.
Right? There is a purpose that it serves. You know, one of my favorite movies now is the Inside Out movie. You know, if you haven't seen Inside Out, you all need to make sure you go see
It's an
Inside
older
Out.
movie.
The Pixar cartoon movie, y'all.
Yeah.
But it's super, super dope because it takes a look at a young lady. Her family's moving and she's going through some challenges because of that. And it goes inside of her mind and inside of her brain, and they begin looking at all the different emotions and how those emotions impact her behaviors. It's a dope movie. I know it might sound a little, you know, maybe childish or for kids, but no, it's actually super, super dope.
It really is, because the thing we need to understand is our emotions, they're definitely there for a reason. Number one, God wants us to survive.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so our survival emotions, like fear and even aggression or anger, were there primarily for the purpose of us surviving.
Right.
The problem is we're not cavemen and women anymore.
Yeah.
We're living in a modern day world where a lot of these things are not don't need to be as intense as they are, but we're still wired the same way.
Right.
So we have to be careful because our fears can overtake us. You know, and then the other thing is God also wants us to enjoy that which
Yeah.
He gave to us.
I believe that.
And He also wants us to procreate and to multiply and be
Right.
fruitful.
Right.
So without having emotions, we wouldn't be driven to do a lot of the things. And, you know, even procreating is for survival.
Right.
So, you know, you just have to, like, if you think about it. Oh, fear is really primal. It was so I didn't get eaten by a saber-toothed tiger. Yours still thinks, your core belief still has you in a place, sir, where you think a saber-toothed tiger is going to come out in the yard and eat us in a tin.
Nah, but it might be a fox or one of them little
Then
squirrels
I
or
will
something.
straight smack a fox with a broom. I have beat many things in this yard with a broom.
My wife's gonna shoot the possum with. Anyway, that's a whole different story. That's a whole different story.
I was
That's a
gonna
whole
shoot
different
the.
story.
He wouldn't let me shoot the possum.
She
It
was
was
gonna shoot the
in.
possum.
It was in my house
It was in like the little side
in the mud room
and
with a concrete floor.
she
we were
wanted to
fine.
shoot it. Y'all, she was gonna shoot the possum, but I was
The
like,
possum was.
and I said, no, don't shoot the possum.
I said, okay, give me the broom, and I beat the mess out of that possum.
Limiting beliefs.
He didn't come back.
He didn't. Well, we don't know, but I ain't
He did
seen
not
him.
come back in the
I ain't seen him.
mudroom.
I ain't seen him. This
He
is
didn't-
good. This is
he
good.
didn't come back.
So let's do this, you all. Let's do this. Are there limiting beliefs that you all are dealing with? Are there things literally that are holding you back from taking risks? Are there things that are keeping you kind of in this place that are stopping you from reaching your full potential? I really want you to pause for a second, and I want you to ask yourself, what is stopping me? What belief system do I own right now that is stopping me from going to the next place, the next phase, the next level, taking a step of faith and going for that job, opening the new X, Y, or Z? What is stopping you? I want you to take a moment, put it inside of the comments box. What's stopping you? Is it fear? Is it self? Is it doubt? What is stopping you? Put it inside the comments box or the comment section.
Because that's the most important part.
Yeah.
Because if we don't identify, that's the first tip.
And that's actually the first tip today. Identify.
Our first tip to break through these limits
Yep.
is, number one, you got to know where those limits. What are the limits?
Right.
I mean, you can't defend yourself against an enemy that you don't know. So I mean, even these teams.
Yeah.
Who are in the NCAA tournament, you don't think they're not watching some film?
They watching all.
Breaking it down, understand how is that opponent going to interact with me?
Yeah.
So you have to do that. You have to analyze.
Yep.
Have some self-awareness and recognize, here are my limits. These are my limits.
Yeah, and I think it's a great way that you explained it, right? Being able to watch film on your fears, right? Watch film on your doubts, right? You got to be able to go back and replay that. Be like, who said this isn't right? Who said this is supposed to be like this? When did I ever lose? Like, have you ever just stopped and asked yourself that question? Like, when have you ever really lost? That's crazy.
And what you're doing there is step number 2.
Yeah.
Because I'm putting my thoughts on trial.
Correct. So we have to question the validity of the belief.
I'm putting them things on trial.
That's
like,
what I'm talking about.
Is this, is it true?
Yeah. I like it.
Is it true?
And if it's
It
not
might be
true,
my fact.
right? But is it? Come on.
But that does not mean that it's true.
That's right.
Just because it's a fact.
Just because it's a fact does not mean that it is true.
Because everything we've experienced in life isn't always based on the truth. There's some facts to things that we've experienced in our lives. Some things have really sucked. But we can't let those things that have really sucked and have been traumatic and have been overwhelming and have been heartbreaking to hijack what's really true.
That's right.
And keep us from being able to make progress.
And the truth is, you're amazing.
Yeah.
The truth is, you were created to do awesome.
Look at you.
That's the truth, right?
And you know what you're doing right there.
Right now, I'm reframing the thinking.
That's number 3.
That's number 3. Yep.
So the third step to break those limitations is to reframe it. I always tell people through counseling, you may not be able to say, oh, I'm the most awesome person on the planet and really believe that.
Right.
But I can say, I'm not where I want to be.
But I'm not where I used to be.
Exactly. So we can reframe it, make it a little bit more positive. So take the negative things, the stinking thinking that you have.
Get rid of it.
And make it so that you can accept it. Make it a little bit more positive. Put some truth in it so that you can accept it. Reframe that.
That's it.
That's all. That's all you have to do.
And I know, we say, hey, that's all you have to do. And I know it's difficult. But listen, I want to challenge you all to really, this week, as you're going out, I really want to challenge you to begin asking yourselves the questions. Where are these things coming from? Identifying them. I really want you all to start questioning the validity. Is this really true? No, it's not. It's not, right? I really want you to begin reframing those things, right? In the way that it needs to go. And then, number 4, you got to get around the right people.
Right. You gotta have people who are where you want to be.
Yes.
Who are speaking positive things.
Yes.
It doesn't do you any good to be around other people with stinking thinking.
Because it's only going to take you deeper.
It's contagious.
It is.
Feelings are contagious.
Yes, they are.
And that is a scientific fact.
Yep.
If I come in here,
and you smile?
busted and disgusted, you're going to start feeling that way.
I am.
If I come in here and I'm smiling,
I'm going to smile.
people smile. They may be down, and you can just come in and smile.
That's right.
And it changes the whole atmosphere.
Yep.
So everything in this earth runs off of a vibration. Our feelings can connect with other people. Our heartbeats sync up with people, so we can feel that. So it's important that you put yourself around positive, affirming people who are in spaces and places that you aspire to be. That's step 4.
And you know, it's so interesting that you bring that up, because I know for me, even this entrepreneurial journey, there are always new levels, right? And so, you know, I went from one level to another level, right? But going to that new level put me around different people. And at first, that imposter syndrome tried to show up and was like, you know, you don't belong there.
Yeah.
But then when I started getting around other people and I saw how they moved and I saw how they operated, not only was my confidence kindled and I felt so much more confident walking around, right? But I learned so much stuff because of the things that I saw, right? One of the things that you've heard me say is, once you see it, you can't unsee it. So now I'm seeing them do things that honestly I didn't even know was possible. But because I see it, now I can't unsee it. And there is a possibility to have it happen, right? You know, I remember even before we moved here, I didn't think about anybody like flying private jets. I didn't think about that. Like any time I thought about a private plane, I thought about like one of those little the little Cessnas with the propellers. I wasn't thinking about like this, you know,
jet.
like a jet. You know what I'm saying? Like, but now having known people who have jets and are flying in jets, like they don't go to the airport, they go to the Clearport, right? They go into Millionaire Row. Like now having people like that, now I'm looking at it like, man, I don't know. It's not so far-fetched.
Like you say, you can't
unsee it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And there's a lot of people out there, it might be you, listening today or watching today, who said, well, I'm not around those kind of people.
Right.
Well, you have an option to affirm yourself and place positivity all around you. You know, one thing that's really easy to do, research has shown that just an attitude of gratitude is tremendous, and that it really does reframe the mind and put our mind in a different perspective of positivity. And one of the researches that I recently read was about writing down 30 things every single day that you're grateful for.
Wow,
you know, maybe at the beginning of the day, 15, at the end of the day, 15, but whatever. Or just sit down and try to write a complete 30.
Yeah.
The research showed that whether the people could think of 30 unique things or they just wrote down the same thing more than once,
Didn't matter.
it had the same positive impact on their mind.
That's huge.
So just being grateful and just reminding yourself that I'm grateful, just affirming yourself. You know, I told one of my patients the other day, I said, you go and you put some beard oil in and you look in the mirror and you say, man, I'm a good looking man. And he's like, I can't do that. I said, why?
Why can't you? That's
Why
right.
can't you do that?
That's right.
You know, we have to be our own cheerleader. You're waiting for other people to affirm you in this crazy, hectic world. You may be waiting the rest of your life.
That's right.
So affirm you. Put positivity all around you.
Yep.
Put positive quotes on the mirror that you look at yourself in every morning.
Yeah.
Whatever it is. Set your alarm on your phone to have literally a positive moment. You can just set the alarm and it can tell you to take deep breaths.
Yep.
Whatever it might be. Or it could say, you look great today. You know, whatever it is. So if you're not like Phillip has a knack for just finding mentors, and just putting himself up under people. If that's not you, you know, maybe you're not as outgoing as him, you can still affirm yourself.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. And if you have some trouble with that, hey, shoot me a DM. I got a whole list of just affirmations that I would love to send over to you absolutely free.
Yes.
It ain't gonna cost you anything. Just let me know, hey, Phillip, I need those affirmations. I'll send it over to you, and it will at least get you started, right? Being able to, you know, take a look at those things, read about them, understand them. It'll get you started. So.
And that is number 5.
Yep.
Number 5 is just taking some action.
Take
so whether
action.
it's, you know, you hit Phillip's DM tonight and say, hey man, can you send me those affirmations that I can read over myself every single day? Or you reach out to him and say, hey, I'm interested in some coaching because I really need to have some more self-awareness. You know, inviting somebody into that space, because we can see things about people that they can't see. You know, sometimes you're like too close. Like, I know this is my hand, but all my fingers start to blend together.
Right.
Like right now it looks like I have a thumb and 2 fingers.
Right.
You know, and that's how we can feel about ourselves. So, but you've got to take action.
That's
the
right.
5th step to taking the limits off is doing something about it.
You gotta do
So
something.
you have a choice. You can do something about it, or you can stay stuck and completely be overwhelmed by self-doubt and a lack of self-awareness.
And honestly, staying stuck in this place
Not the solution.
is not gonna be the solution. All right. So number one, you gotta identify those limiting beliefs. Where are they? Where are they coming from? Number two, you gotta question the validity of those beliefs.
Put it on trial.
You gotta put it on trial. I like how you said that. Number three, you gotta reframe your thinking, right? Reframe your thinking. Number four, you gotta get around the right people. Surround yourself with positive people. Surround yourself with affirmations. Find good music that's going to like uplift you.
Go
right?
on YouTube and check out
Literally.
some of Phillip's our Edge energy
Yeah,
shots.
you can get you some Edge energy shots.
Yeah, get you some Edge
Get
energy.
you that juice.
If
Get
you
that
can
juice.
handle it, you might not be able to handle it.
Right. And then number five is just take action, right? So I want to say this to you. What is one thing that you can do based on the conversation that we've had today? Based on the information that you've just taken into your ear duct, your eye duct, what is one thing you can do? I don't want you to overwhelm yourself. I want you just to do one thing, because in doing that one thing, that is where your change is going to begin. And that's it. That's it. That's all we gotta do.
That's it.
Just the one thing. Just one thing. I'm hoping y'all can do the one thing. I'm hoping that you can do the one thing. I'm hoping you can do one.
And we're not, you don't have to take it all on.
No.
It literally is just doing one thing.
That's
Just
it.
doing one thing, making those small steps, taking action each day, so that you can reach your full potential. I mean, don't leave anything on the table. At the end of the day, life is short. Don't leave anything on the table. Live life to the full, in abundance.
Until it overflows.
Yeah.
That's what I'm
Press
talking
down,
about.
shaking together, it's still overflowing.
And running over. You know what I'm talking about? Look, y'all, I'm believing that this is going to be the best year of your life. I know we're getting ready to go into the second quarter, and we still have time. But the only way that things are going to change is that we have to change. Let me say it again. The only way that things are going to change is that we have to change. We believe in you. Let me say it again. We believe in you. So, babe, you got that time, right?
Yep.
Y'all, we appreciate you. We will see you on next week.
Yep,
Same
see you next
time,
week.
same channel. If you need those affirmations, holla at your boy in the DM. I'll make sure that I get those for you. So until next week, hey, we out, man.
Peace.
Peace.
Relatively unknown. Let's go. We up and coming, we fun and we real and relevant. Yeah, we giving hope, we super dope, you know we heaven sent. If you sick and low, you need a dose, we got the medicine. Probably never heard of us before, but you gon' let us in. I told y'all boys before that we coming, ready to give it to anybody that want it. We bringing y'all the truth and keeping it 100. You may not know it now, but soon we gon' run it. We gon' run it, it's my promise. Y'all better get ready, cause we coming. Content gon' be so fire. Gon' like, share, and subscribe. Yeah, gon' like, share, and subscribe.